Hi, everyone. I'm Nathan, and I'm here today representing Busboys and Poets because we've got a really special author who's going to be speaking and reading her book for you all. This author is Naz Khan, and she's a really good friend of mine, and so I'm very excited to introduce her. She wrote a book called Room for Everyone, and she's going to read it and talk about it with us.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Nathan. It is so exciting to be with you today and to be with everybody. And what I love about being online is that there is definitely room for everyone, no matter if there's one person or a million people, we can all be here together. So that's one of my favorite things about being online together. So yeah, as my friend Nathan said, I am an author of a children's book. And what I love about books is that it doesn't matter if you're home or if you're in the library or if you're in your room, if you're in bed, you can travel to anywhere in the world, in all over the universe, into another galaxy. You can go anywhere you want by opening up a book. And today we're going to go to, well, you're going to have to guess. We're going to play a game. I'm going to show you a couple of clues. And yeah, you have to guess where we are going to go in our very special book today. So clue number 1. Ready? Okay. It is a towel. Okay, let's see. Ready for clue number 2, Nathan?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay, let's see. Clue number 2. It's a flipper.
Oh, I like how brightly it's colored.
It's fun colored, right? And let's see, clue number 3. It's a hat, a sun hat, I'd like to say. So we have 3 clues. All right, on the count of 3, I want you to just shout out where you think we're going. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I see a clue. Yes, the beach. Great guessers. Okay, so the beach that we're going to go to today is no ordinary beach. It's a very special beach, and it is not in North America. It is not a beach in the United States. It's a beach in a place called Zanzibar. And I don't know if you've heard of the place Zanzibar, but can you take a guess what continent Zanzibar is in? I see a number of continents here on this map. There's North America in green, South America in blue, Africa in yellow. Do we have any guesses from anyone about what continent or what color continent you see here on the map? All right, on the count of 3, I'm going to have you shout it out. 1, 2, 3.
Africa.
Yes, you're right. So if you look at that, if you look at the map, you'll see one of the countries on the map is yellow, and that is the continent of Africa. It's not really yellow in real life, but that's how we show sometimes how things are a little bit different. So let's see, let's go a little bit closer, and we'll see that there's a country called Tanzania. And if we get even closer, we'll see there it is. It's an island. Zanzibar is an island that's a part of the country of Tanzania. If you look at the map, you'll see a plane, and that plane is typically where people will fly in. And this story is about a trip from Stone Town, where you see the plane, all the way up to where you see the turtle, which is a beach called Nungwi Beach. And it's actually a place that I visited a number of years ago. And I'm going to show you a couple of pictures before we get started with the story. So there you see, there's a picture of me on this side, and I'm wearing blue, kind of like the color of the Indian Ocean. And you'll see a truck in one of the pictures, and 2 of the pictures, and you'll see sugarcane and coconuts and lots of people getting on board. And you'll see on the right, you might see some fisherwomen who are wearing clothes that are made out of katenge material. It's a special fabric, and they're walking on the beach. And I think by now you're probably ready to go to the actual beach, right? All right, let's get in there. Let's go. Oh, Well, yeah, that's one way to go is to go all the way from, see, this is Baltimore Washington International Airport, all the way to Zanzibar, but it would take 18 hours and 55 minutes. I don't think we have that much time. So instead of getting on a plane, we are going to get in to a book. And the book is called Room for Everyone. And I think we are ready to get started with the reading, right? Awesome. Okay, let's see. So Room for Everyone, written by Naz Khan, that's me, and the illustrations are by Merce Lopez. The Dala Dala. Oh, there's one thing I totally forgot. I forgot to tell you that this book has a lot of wiggling. And sometimes when I'm about to start reading a book, I have the wiggles and I can't sit still. So I thought before we actually get started, maybe we could do a little wiggling. So let's start with wiggling our fingers and wiggling our shoulders and wiggling our nose. And then wiggle your whole body. Get the wiggles out. Do a big stretch. And big sigh. And now I think we're ready. Okay, let's get started. The Dala Dala rumbled and roared, and Musa and Dada were off to the shore to feast on fish at the Friday bazaar by the blue crystal waters of Zanzibar. Soon after zooming past Zuleika Street, they saw one old man and his bike with no seat. So the driver honked, pulled to the side, and asked, "Dear brother, do you need a ride? It's hotter than peppers out there in the sun. Come in, there's room for everyone." "But Dada," said Musa, "I don't think there is enough room for that man in that cycle of his." "Don't worry, Musa, there's space galore. If we move just a bit, we can make room for more." So in came the man with his sweaty old feet and his bike with no bell and no light and no seat. And after some wiggles and giggles and fun, they made enough room for everyone. Next, they passed the Bugala boats, and a herder appeared with 2 little goats. So the Dala Dala pulled to the side, and the driver yelled, "Do you need a ride? It's hotter than peppers out there in the sun. Come in, there's room for everyone." "But Dada," asked Musa, "can there really be enough room for a cycle, 2 goats, and me?" "Of course there is. If we squeeze a bit, we'll make enough room for us all to fit." And though the seating arrangement was tight, Musa could see that Dada was right. After a shuffle, a squirm, and a squeeze, they found a small space beside Dada's knees. Onward they went with a honk and a toot till vendors appeared with 3 baskets of fruit. So they pulled to the side, and as you can guess, Musa cried out and began to protest. "Mangoes and melons and parachichi, we don't have the space, please listen to me." But up came the baskets of tropical fruits, and down dripped the juices on ankles and boots. Everyone wiggled and giggled galore, till somehow they carved out a space on the floor. Onward they puttered past palms and sails, till a farmer appeared with 4 shiny pails, filled with milk all the way to the top. So the Dala Dala came to a stop. "We can't, we mustn't, I do not see where he could possibly sit," Musa cried in despair. But the passengers wiggled, and somewhere, somehow, they made space for the farmer and milk from his cow. The Dala Dala drove past some farms till they saw 5 mamas with fish in their arms. So the Konda stuck his head outside, yelling, "Sisters, hello, do you need a ride?" "No," cried Musa, "this rickety bench has no room for those fish and their ickety stench." But the passengers wiggled and squished on the floor and made enough room for the ride to the shore. 6 minutes later, a farmer was walking with 6 stinky chickens that wouldn't stop squawking. And right there beside them were several fellas carrying 7 Katenge umbrellas. "Hop in," someone shouted. "Get out of the sun. There's plenty of room for everyone." Musa resisted. "These chickens are fat. And 7 umbrellas? There's no room for that." Dada insisted. "Just open the door." So everyone wiggled and giggled galore and eventually found enough room for more. Soon they were making a turn down the lane where a vendor was carrying 8 sugar canes and 9 tender coconuts fresh off the tree. What yummy, refreshing, sweet drinks these could be. The passengers shouted, "Do you need a ride?" And as you can guess, Musa worried and cried, "This is outrageous. We can't let them in. We're already smushed like sardines in a tin." Though it was clearly a very tight fit, they wouldn't give up. No, they just wouldn't quit. So in came the coconuts, tender and sweet, and the sugar canes tangled between people's feet, tickling everyone's toes as they wiggled until even Musa started to giggle. A few minutes later, they stopped for fuel, which happened to be near a diving school, where 10 divers were ready to go with suits and gear and tanks in tow, trying to get in on all the commotion so they could explore the Indian Ocean. But was there room for all their stuff? Did the Dala Dala have room enough? What do you think? And though the Dala Dala was packed from top to bottom and front to back, Musa yelled out, "Come join the fun! We'll make enough room for everyone." So the swimmers with snorkels and tubes and fins wiggled and giggled and wriggled right in. Wow, look at all of those passengers and all of their things. The tires were reeling and spinning and burning, the passengers sweating and twisting and turning, elbow to shoulder, beak to nose, feathers to feet, udders to toes. What a sight to see, what a comical crew, stuck together like globbity glue. They clunkety clunked like junk in a trunk, so close to a breakdown, kerplunkety plunk. When suddenly all of them heard a screech. Alhamdulillah, they'd arrived at the beach. Out came 10 swimmers with snorkels and fins who ran to the ocean and dove right on in. Out came 9 coconuts, fresh and tender, and out came the whistling coconut vendor. Out came the 8 sticky sweet sugar canes with 7 umbrellas for sunshine and rains, 6 stinky chickens and 5 piles of fish, 4 heavy pails full of milk so delish, 3 big old baskets of fruit for a treat, 2 little goats, and 1 bike with no seat. At last, they had finally reached the blue crystal waters of Nungwi Beach, where Musa and Dada and everyone could wiggle and giggle under the sun. And that's the story of Room for Everyone. Thank you for being such awesome listeners. And I hope some of you got to wiggle along as we read the book.
I did. It was really fun.
Yeah, wiggling can be really fun, especially when there's room for other things and people too.
So, Naz, I have a question. You said you were in Zanzibar. Were you on a bus like this one?
I was on a bus like this one. I was visiting with a friend and we really wanted to go to the beach. It was a hot day and we said, yeah, let's go. And we got on the Dala Dala. And just like Musa, when I got on, it was pretty crowded, but it was okay. And then we kept stopping, and people and all of their things kept getting in, and more people and more things. And just like Musa, I was a little anxious and a little worried that there would not be enough room. But we wiggled and giggled, and just like the story, there was enough room, and that's what inspired me to write the story.
It sounds like it was a really fun time.
It was really fun. Yeah, and I'm sure there's other people in our audience who've also been on a bus ride or um, been stuck in a place with lots of people at some point. And sometimes it can be a little worrisome, but sometimes it can be really fun if you decide that you want it to be a fun time. What about you, Nathan?
I take the bus pretty frequently, and in the not so much in the last couple of years, but before then, I definitely remember some times that I felt very crowded and very stuck. But sometimes you get to talking to the random people that you're standing next to, and that can be kind of fun, just learning about where they're going and talking to them about where you're going. And it's you kind of get a chance to meet new people and make friends just
Yeah,
from being in the same space as them.
right. Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I really learned when I was in Zanzibar is that, and in other trips that I've gone to, because I don't know if you noticed, but there are some words in the story that are not in English. They're in another language.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't know what that those all of those words meant. Can you explain what like on the very first page there was a dala dala?
yeah, so dala dala, so that's the word that they use for the little mini bus. But there's other words that are also in Swahili, which is the language that most people speak in Zanzibar and in Tanzania and East Africa. And so the words alhamdulillah or parachichi, which is avocado, are words that I learned when I was there, but I didn't speak much Swahili. And so when I was there, I didn't always know how to communicate. But what's really cool is that sometimes a smile can communicate something, or you can use your hands to point somewhere, or you can just move over to show someone that there's room next to you. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can communicate with people, even if you don't speak the same language, which is something that is really fun to do.
That is really cool. Um,
Oh, I see a message over here from Gwendolyn Bright. Thank you so much, Naz. We were given a copy of the book from your friend Sarah for my kiddos' third birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday, Gideon. So exciting that you got to get the book. Both he and my nearly 6-year-old love it. Oh, well, thank you so much. It's so exciting to meet new friends, and I hope this inspires you to go on an exciting adventure in another book, or again in this book, or in real life.
I thought it was really cool the way Musa changed his mind about there being space. He was worried at the very beginning when there was hardly anyone on the bus, and then at the end, he it seemed like he was really happy to let all of the even though there were 10 extra people coming on, he was really excited to let them all on the bus.
Yeah, that's a really good observation. Yeah, I think you and me and everyone that I know gets worried and gets scared and gets anxious, and we worry about what's going to happen, or we worry that there's not enough. Maybe there's not enough ice cream to go around, or there's not enough toys to go around. But I think one thing that I learned is that sometimes it can be a little scary, but when you do something that you're not sure about, it can actually be really exciting and really fun to figure it out with other people. And so I hope this book inspires everyone to try something new and try something different, even if you're a little bit anxious about it. Because often, if you try to do something together with other people, it can be really fun, even if it's a little hard.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad you think so.
I like that idea that that something scary can be easier if you're doing it with other people.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think we're ever really alone. But even when we're alone, we're with other people, either in our hearts or in our minds or in real life.
So is there anything else you want to share with about the story, about your experiences in Zanzibar, or about writing the book?
I think that's about it. I just hope everyone enjoyed the story. And I just wanted to let you know that the book is available at Busboys and Poets. And I also have some free bookmarks and some worksheets that you can all have. And if you want to learn more about Zanzibar, listen to music from Zanzibar, or download worksheets, or watch TV shows and cartoons from East Africa, you can go to my website at naazkhan.org, NAAZKHAN.org, and you can explore Zanzibar and East Africa on your own online.
That sounds really fun. Thank you so much,
You're
Naz.
so welcome. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.